Hello everyone. I hope that you are working very sincerely, revising the concepts again and again, revising reactions also, so that during the mock test paper solving, you will recall it easily. Till now we have covered 1 to 5, 6 to 8, 9 to 12 mock test papers. Now today from 13th paper onwards, I am going to discuss the questions. These are the questions which I am going to discuss. Firstly, stability of phenol. Among them, comparison is there. Order we have to write. Second question, this reaction is there. This is very easy reaction, but most of the times student ask what is the product form, because generally they relate Grignard with nucleophilic addition. That's why I'm mentioning here this reaction we have covered in alkanes topic. Alkanes video in playlist 11th you will get. Around 13th minute, this reaction of Grignard is covered to prepare alkanes. Next is this compound, that is phenyl benzoate monobromination is the term used in the mock test, bromination Br2 with Fe. What is the product form? This reaction is covered in very important concept in directive influence, then activating, deactivating groups. So here in which video you will get it? Aromatic hydrocarbons video in class 11th playlist. Around 30th minute this concept will start, and this type of example will come around 37th minute. So if you have any doubt in that concept of directive influence, activating groups, deactivating groups, and where electrophile will attack, then you can go through that video from 30th minute onwards. The next is alkene Cl2 with H2O, chlorine water. What is the final product form? This concept we have covered in alkene and alkyne video. This reaction is important, that's why I am mentioning here, because several times questions are asked about the intermediate form. So this is in alkene alkyne video. Around 17th minute, two mechanisms I have mentioned, and then on that basis this reaction is covered around 24th minute. So you can go through that part if you have any doubt in that reaction. Then metal carbides with water. This reaction is also have covered in alkynes topic. This reaction I have covered hydrolysis of metal carbide. So maybe in that video only you will get this reaction, hydrolysis of metal carbides, right? And these are the options given. Information is metal carbide, water, given a particular gas, this gas with ammonical silver nitrate solution. So I am not writing that statement here, directly mentioning it is tolerance reagent and a precipitate is formed. We have to identify what is the gas mentioned here. Now in the first one, stability of phenol, the order is 1, 2 and 3. The reason is, firstly, if you remember, active methylene carbon, this hydrogen is acidic in nature, it participates quickly and it converts from keto to enol form. So in this case CH2, here CH, and there is no alpha hydrogen on the active methylene carbon, but which hydrogen is available? These hydrogens. So that is less acidic as compared to active methylene, first thing. Second thing is that in that case, when enol is formed, we know that this is stabilized due to extended conjugation, intra-H bonding is there, and this hydrogen is more acidic also. So here one reason is this hydrogen more acidic because there is no plus I group like here, right? Other point is, when this enol is formed, this is stabilized no doubt. If there is a methyl group like this, there will be some kind of steric hindrance also. So this steric factor also is not supporting the enol form, or rather saying that part, we can compare that enol will be maximum here due to more acidic hydrogen and less steric factor there. In second case, less acidic hydrogen, that means less enol content also, as well as steric factors are there which will be avoiding, or which will be taking the equilibrium towards the keto form. So steric hindrance factor is there, along with that less acidic hydrogen, two factors, and there is no acidic hydrogen on active methylene, then this will participate less in the enol form. That is the order. Second one, simple question, if you have seen that part from the alkanes, this will be partial negative charge, acid base reaction, it takes H plus methane form plus MgBr with OCH3. Next one is that this ring is connected to plus M group, left ring connected to minus M group. So between them major product will be what? Due to plus M group present, electrophile attacks majorly at para position, less at ortho. So by elimination you can get only one option, which is para. So it means major product will be at para rather at ortho. And on the left ring, very less possibility due to withdrawing group is present. So it is simply rate of electrophilic aromatic substitution is directly proportional to the electron density on the ring. So right ring will be substituted. Next reaction is addition of HOX, hypohalous acid. In that case, Cl plus acts as electrophile, cyclic halonium ion formed, then backside attack of OH takes place in the form of H2O, it attacks and we get this compound. So it is anti-addition. Next one, metal carbide with water. This is covered in alkynes topic around 10th minute. Yes, around 10th minute it is covered. Hydrolysis of metal carbides, among them one example is with CaC2, calcium carbide. Why I am considering that? Because in the options also, if you go through among the options, one option is acetylene. Quickly you relate that metal carbide CaC2 standard example, that it forms acetylene, which is a colorless gas. Information given already in the question. Colorless gas with garlic like smell and it is lighter than air. These are some properties I have mentioned here. Colorless gas, garlic like smell and it is lighter than air. Then after Tollens reagent reaction with Tollens reagent or ammoniacal silver nitrate, it gives a silver precipitate or black PPT. So that this is the answer, which is acetylene, right? Now next question number 6. Sodium extract, or we can say Leysin extract heated with concentrated HNO3 before testing halogens. Why we treat that Leysin extract or sodium extract with concentrated HNO3 before testing the halogens. Now this concept is covered in the topic which is quantitative and qualitative analysis video around 10th minute, where details are given that we treat Leysin extract with HNO3 initially so that the nitrogen gets converted into cyanide and then HCN gases evolved, sulfide gets converted into H2S gas and it will also evolve. If it will not evolve, then they will interfere with the test. Okay, so if you want to go through, you can go through playlist of 11th class where this part quantitative and qualitative analysis video, it is covered at around 10th minute. Next question is, that is the alcohol given, alkene is also present, H plus H2 will give which product? So among these options you have to select. When you see the options, you will get the idea about the ring expansion case. So I'll explain it. 8th question, alcohol reagent is asked in the question, that is the alkene formed. The reagents are these: concentrated H2SO4 heat, Al2O3 heat, THO2 thorium oxide heat. These are the reagents which is most suitable, or other option given is all of them. So here among them one answer is correct. Then 9th question is about that one. In this compound, if this compound treated with H plus, what is the final product formed? This is basically a Fischer esterification reaction which is covered in the alcohols video, 12th class playlist, alcohols video around 13th minute. This reaction is covered with mechanism also. If you want, you can go through it. 10th question is about alkene present treating with sodium and liquid ammonia. This reaction important is covered in alkene and alkyne topic video in 11th playlist at the initial time, that is around 1st or 2nd minute it is covered. It is Birch reduction basically. Try these questions. Now question number 6. As I already told that in this case, when in the Leysin extract, we have Cn minus. If nitrogen is present, it is in the form of Cn minus, sulfur in the form of sulfide. Then after treating with HNO3, it evolves HCN gas, nitrogen gone, H2S gas, sulfur gone. If they are present, then they will give particular color precipitate and they will interfere with the testing of halogens. Then question number 7. If you go by the options, then you will understand that here H plus electrophilic addition takes place. H will go there, carbocation is formed. Other possibility is also there that H plus will go there, water it eliminates plus charge, but that will not give any other feasible result. The point is the major product by seeing the options. So such questions you can easily understand by seeing the options where ring expansion is possible by attacking there. H, carbocation formed like this one, CH3 CH plus, ring expansion takes place, charge will shift from 1 to 2 and the bond is start forming and old bonds are cleaved, that is formed. That's why I'm marking it like this. And then first carbon, second carbon, first carbon is combined with second one, third one and fourth one. There are 4 carbons now, 1, 2, 3, 4. That is the way it is. First one which is with methyl, on second carbon OH. Now bond is cleaved, that means plus charge is there. When this bond is cleaved, second carbon will get the positive charge, and then oxygen contains lone pair, it will delocalize the electrons, it will give C double bond O minus of H plus. That is the final product formed. The only point is here, if you do the protonation, it will not result into any suitable result as per the options. So better option is that you add H plus there, carbocation, ring expansion, then oxygen lone pair will be donated by oxygen and then double bond. This will give you the product which is matching with the options easily. 8th question is about the alkene formation, that is the product formed. Among these options, if you take concentrated H2SO4, you remember that it is following the E1 mechanism, that means ring expansion is possible and we will not get that product as the major. Al2O3 is the reaction which is following E2 mechanism, although in the NTA solutions they have given E1, by mistake it happens, so it is E1, it is not E1, it is E2 mechanism, and Sidzef alkene is generally formed as major product with Al2O3. So that is what here mentioning, the most suitable among them is Al2O3. With thorium oxide it is no carbocation formed, but with thorium it is even Cb type mechanism, or you can say Hoffman elimination takes place. So thorium oxide will give Hoffman product majorly, not Sidzef. That means with thorium the product will be like this one. Okay, the important point is only that Al2O3 heat will be the answer through E2 reaction, Sidzef alkene formed major. Then 9th, I already told you, it is special esterification in which water eliminates and marking the atoms which form the ring 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6th is oxygen. To make 6-membered ring, oxygen is 6th, C double bond O carbon is 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That is the answer. The next one, question number 10th. Birch reduction is which addition? If you have seen that part or you remember from the notes, it is anti-addition of hydrogen. That means one possibility I am writing directly, that H there, H there. Opposite addition, other group is methyl there, other group is there which is carbon with methyl above the plane, H below the plane. Other part remains as it is because it is from alkyne to alkene, partial reduction takes place. Now among these options are the optically active product formed, optically inactive product formed, racemic mixture formed, diastereomer formed. It is quite simple that this carbon which is chiral, it remains unaffected, right? It is still chiral. Reaction is taking place at which carbon? Alkyne carbon. This is which form? H and H opposite side, it is trans form, and here H and H on the same side, it is cis form. Cis form, trans form, this carbon is still chiral. If both become cis, then we can say this is not chiral, but here it is cis, it is trans, and it is chiral center, so it is clearly optically active compound. So option will be optically active compound, not optically inactive. So these are the few questions. Now next is one question which is this one, but to answer this question we should require one extra information in the form of a reaction which is SNGP, that is nucleophilic substitution, which involves neighboring group participation. Now generally we do not use SNGP reaction, generally SN1, SN2, E1, E2 for elimination. Most commonly we never use this reaction, but in mock test they have given this reaction, that means you can answer that question. The question is this one. This question you answer only by using this information which is SNGP reaction. So it is for those students who are quite familiar with the NCERT reactions from their modules also, they have completed their reactions. Now such type of extra reactions which we are covering in the form of mock test discussion, then they will go for it, otherwise no need to do it. It all depends that what is the level of your preparation, right? So in this reaction I will try to summarize it quickly, that this is a substrate where we have a leaving group, right? Where we have a leaving group departs, the reaction proceeds, that in such reactions internal nucleophile is present. In such reactions what is present? Internal nucleophile is present. which contains lone pair, it contains lone pair, or it contains electron density. Like benzene ring is also possible, but that examples are rarely used in our syllabus. Okay, so leaving group departs, and before attacking of the external nucleophile, internal nucleophile quickly attacks. So leaving group departing, simultaneously Z is attacking from the opposite side. That means the configuration should be opposite with respect to the leaving group, right? Now, after leaving, it forms a three-membered ring. These are general indications that in such reaction, internal nucleophile attack, a strained ring is formed, three-membered ring, or maybe 5 or 6-membered ring possible. But generally, I am saying generally three-membered rings are most common cases in SNGP reaction. Here I have marked one carbon as C14, other is C12 normal. After this ring is formed, then still external nucleophile is present, it attacks. Then the two ways are possible, 1 and 2. If the ring is opened like this way ring is opened, okay, that means nucleophile will attack like this. This is the one possibility. I hope you are getting. I'm giving you brief about this reaction, then we will use few points in this question and you will get the answer. One possibility, bond cleave like this. This carbon, which is C12, is attacked by the nucleophile C12, and this bond is cleaved Z with CH2 nucleophile. So you can see that is Z CH2, which CH2, carbon 14, then next CH2 and nucleophile. It is one way. Other possibility is that leaving group departs, Z, the bond cleaves like this. Other possibility I am writing. The moment it is cleaving like this, the nucleophile attack on the opposite carbon. Nucleophile attacks on the opposite carbon, just like the first way. Here it is second way where it is cleaved like this. On C14, Z will attack, bond cleaved, and Z CH2 nucleophile. Z CH2 star nucleophile. Z CH2 star nucleophile. In short, that is the reaction in which internal nucleophile is present. It may contain pi electrons. Most commonly, it contains lone pairs generally, but pi electrons possible. They can also act as internal nucleophile. Now, in this case, there are two SN2 reactions. The point is important, that is, in SNGP reaction, twice SN2 reaction takes place. From the internal nucleophile once, and then from the external nucleophile, to twice on the same carbon SN2 reaction takes place, that gives retention of configuration. Although here I am writing both the products, but generally when you get the example like here this one, you simply use, but you have to identify that whether it is SNGP or not. If it is SNGP, then on this chiral carbon finally retention of configuration is there. How? The important points firstly, then I give you example of this one. Internal nucleophile is present at opposite position, that is anti position with respect to the leaving group, that is the indication. Then concentration of external nucleophile should be low. That means if external nucleophile is in less concentration, then the possibility of internal nucleophilic attack is more. If external nucleophile is more in the amount, then more chances of direct SN2 reaction is there, right? So here it is another point, concentration of external nucleophile should be low. Third point is two inversions takes place leading to, the important point is complete retention at the attacked carbon. On the carbon where SNGP is taking place, backside attack of internal nucleophile, again backside attack of external nucleophile, twice attacks takes place. In short, finally retention of the configuration is there. Now in this example, Cl leaving group, internal nucleophile OH, RO minus first condition, second RO minus excess. It means here it is less concentration of RO minus. If it is less concentration, then quickly internal nucleophile attacks. OH will attack, Cl leave, OH attacks. That means it forms a ether type ring. Oxygen will be bonding to 2 carbon. But finally again nucleophile will attack, and the product will be their OR and their OH and H. Clear? I am writing this general example. We can also take one example, like here I am writing OR, okay, and here I am putting it OH minus, here also OH minus. Now it will be better because in a basic medium again this H plus will leave, so here I am writing OR and there is OH. Now in this reaction how it will proceed? This will attack internally, this will attack internally, ring formed, OH minus attacks from the opposite side, and then on this carbon retention of configuration. But when OH minus is in excess, in that case external nucleophile chances are more to get the final product. So here above one is SNGP and below one, because concentration of nucleophile is more, so it will be normal SN2 reaction, which is opposite side attack of nucleophile, and that is the product. So this is the product where excess concentration is there, then we do simple SN2, that means inversion of configuration, and if it is low concentration of nucleophile, that means it is SNGP on the same carbon, twice inversion, that means finally we write retention product on this chiral carbon. Now this question is given in the mock test. Now you can try that question. You can try that question and find out what? Write down the product, first thing. Second thing, find out the RS configuration of the final product. So firstly you have to write at 4 molar concentration what is the product formed, at 0.01 molar what is the product formed, then find R and S for both the products. Try this question. Now here is the answer of the question on the basis of SNGP and SN2. I have already mentioned here that at excess concentration 4 molar it should follow SN2. That will be easier for you to identify the product, and here low concentration of nucleophile OH minus it should follow SNGP. All the key points of SNGP are there, that means retention of configuration on the carbon where nucleophile is attacking. So in this case you can see Br is on the wedge. Retention means on the same side OH will attack, OH minus will attack, that is the retention of configuration, right? Above one SN2, if Br on the wedge, then OH minus attacks from the opposite side, that means dash. So here OH on the dash position, this is the product by SN2, that is inversion product. At low concentration, retention is the product. So in the options you will get the answer, which is the product by this one is this one, and this by this one is retention. Now the point here and one more is configuration. So if I find for that one, the first priority for OH, second for CO minus, third and fourth for H. H is already on the dash. If you remember in optical isomerism we have done, lowest priority group in wedge dash should be on the dash position. Rotation will be 1, 2, 3 clockwise rotation, that means the configuration of chiral carbon here is R. If you check for other one, it should be S. Why? Because odd exchange is there, one exchange is there, that means it has to be S. You can find out later on. It means they are enantiomers, they are not diastereomers. So by options, if you solve that mock test paper, you will get this question. Try by that way. Next is the one more reaction, which is again extra reaction in preparation of alkenes. This reaction is not in NCERT, not generally covered, but in the mock test given, so I am mentioning it here, that it is pyrolysis of ester, that reaction. This is ester and the carbon here marking as with respect to oxygen, then CH2 is alpha and it is beta. This reaction is the for the preparation of alkenes. We get Hoffman alkene as the major product. Now here in this case alpha carbon, then beta carbon. If you remember, we have done in alkyl halides that beta elimination. So here also beta elimination takes place, and internal elimination is there, or internal nucleophile is attacking there, which is acting as a base. It is taking the H of beta carbon. So what is the product formed? It will take H there, alkene is formed, that is the key point. Now how is it possible? This is the structure, RC double bond O, O, CH2, CH3. This is alpha, this one is beta. Clear? Then this oxygen takes this hydrogen H plus, these electrons shifts their double bond. When it takes the electrons, when it donates the electrons to H plus, this bond shifts there and a cyclic transition state is formed. I have not formed that transition state. Why? Because ultimately the points are not that useful transition state. That shifting is there. Here double bond will arise, their single bond will arise, their double bond will arise, and we get RC double bond O above, single bond below. That bond will start cleaving. Okay, carboxylic acid and alkene is formed. Now only important point here is Hofmann alkene is formed as a major product, and this is which elimination? It is syn elimination. From the same side the oxygen is attacking, and this is termed as EI mechanism. Name is not that important because not frequently used. EI means intramolecular elimination takes place. Now in the mock test this question is given. To solve this question you have to use this point, that is with respect to firstly pyrolysis of ester means it is on strong heating, ester gives alkene. Which elimination takes place? It is beta elimination. And what is the stereo part? Stereo part is syn elimination, right? So try this example. I am giving you hint. You know that there must be syn elimination. So keep this oxygen, because in the solution if you see they have used the Sawhorse projection. So you can use that one also, but why to make it complicated? Simply put this group on this side so that both side these groups are there where elimination takes place. Use the stereochemistry. Try that one. I'll give you answer. Now in this question number 12th, already I have explained you that it is pyrolysis of ester. So syn elimination takes place. To make it by Newman or by Sawhorse, it will be little bit complicated and time constraint is there. So better is use that method. We know that syn elimination takes place. So fixing this group, rotating other three in such a way that O COCH3 is on the left, H is there, pH top. Now these two groups are on the same side. Elimination takes place, double bond will be there here after leaving of the beta hydrogen, because this will be alpha, it is beta. And then in front of pH, which group is there? Deuterium. So write down the alkene. In front of pH, deuterium is there. In front of H, pH is there. It is which alkene formed? Trans alkene is formed as the major product. Byproduct is acetic acid. Okay. Next is information based, that it is malonic acid. Malonic acid after reaction with P4O10 or P2O5, which is dehydrating agent, it gives carbon suboxide. So I have written it in that manner: H2O2 mole, CH2, COOH, COH, 1H OH there, 1H OH there, minus 2H2O, finally giving a compound which is carbon suboxide. That is a purely information based reaction. 14th question is little bit controversial. Why controversial? Because answer given is something else, which is I am mentioning here. Answer given is 2, 1, 3, 4. It is acidic strength. Question is on the basis of acidic strength. That is, among them, as per the answer, maximum is for chloro, then for fluoro, then bromo, then iodo. And explanation is also given. Explanation is also given that when phenoxide ion is formed, then it will undergo resonance, and Cl contains vacant orbitals. It is also minus I, contain vacant orbitals also. Br less minus I even less minus I, but they also contain vacant orbital, but their size of the orbitals is large. So here ultimately the reason for that is, second, because of vacant d orbitals are there which can easily delocalize in the Cl3d orbitals. Then for fluorine, which is more electronegative, then it will be more acidic. For Br, inductive and delocalization both, iodine last. That is the answer given. But here I have written some values. These are the pKa values: 9.89, 9.41, 9.37 and 9.33. If you see, among them the least value is for iodine, right? Then the least value is for iodine, that means it should be most acidic, and maximum value is for fluorine, that means it is least acidic among these para halophenols. Which is least? It should be fluoro, parafluorophenol should be least, and para iodo, or there are some very close values, like in some books it is given 9.2 for 9.2 for bromo, in some books 9.3 given, for chloro it is 9.4 given. Still bromo is more acidic than chlorine. You need not to remember the values. The point here is not the values. The point here is we cannot give such type of questions where we cannot give answer by logic, because the answers which we choose or the questions which we choose, they are as per the theoretical concepts which we can apply on them. So this question, answer given in the mock test, is incorrect. So that's why I am not mentioning it, and correct answer will be as per the pK value. We can write it, but there is no use of it right now. So you can report that question in that app also, that answer is not as per the pK values. Another controversial question is about the Friedel-Crafts reaction, that in Friedel-Crafts reaction, alkylation reaction, rearrangement of carbocation takes place. Correct statement. Then carbocation is poor electrophile than acylium ion. It is in alkylation we have a carbocation formed, in acylation we have a acylium ion formed. Now if you remember, acylium ion is C plus double bond O, where oxygen donates its lone pair and positive charge of carbon decreases. So generally we cannot say that it is a poor nucleophile. Which one? Generally we cannot say that carbocation is a poor nucleophile than acylium ion. Why? Because acylium ion carbon is less positive. That means it should be weak electrophile as compared to carbocation. So this statement is incorrect. It should be incorrect. In what sense they are saying, it is not clear, because in the reason also it is given that this is a weak electrophile, but in the case of acylium we know that carbon is less positive, and less positive means it is weak electrophile. It is very selective as compared to normal carbocation which is in alkylation. So this statement is incorrect. In that the answer given is incorrect is this one. But this is, sorry, answer given is first one, that A statement is incorrect. As per this it means C is correct, but C should be incorrect. I have explained you, because of the less positive charge on acylium ion, because it is stabilized by the lone pair of oxygen. Then in first one, A, acetophenone formed poisons the catalyst, preventing further Friedel-Crafts reaction. This statement is given incorrect. But the point is, in Friedel-Crafts acylation, when reaction takes place, it forms carbonyl compound like acetophenone is formed. In that acetophenone, oxygen lone pair reacts with the catalyst, and when it reacts with the catalyst, they form a complex. When they form a complex, then after hydrolysis, acetophenone is separated. It means, so when the product formed itself reacts with a catalyst, that means it will consume the catalyst, and we can also say that it is poisoning the catalyst. Why? Because when catalyst itself react with the product, then it will not be available much for the reaction with reactant. So that is why some little bit controversial point it is, that first statement should be correct, second one should be correct, but third should be incorrect. But the answer given is opposite, that A is given incorrect and remaining two are given correct. So this is the part from the discussion.